Do you have a project that's gathering dust in a corner, or perhaps it's hidden in a drawer? Or maybe you were trying to learn a new skill and your enthusiasm for it sort of fizzled out. Today on Gently Being, I'm sharing 5 tips for how to start all over again. Hi, welcome to Gently Being. Step 1, return and discern. You want to begin by really picking up and returning to that project, just looking at it. If it was a physical project, pull it out of that drawer, take it out of the closet, and really hold it and look at the work that you've done on the project already. Honor the time that you've spent with the project. If you were more learning a new skill, reflect on what you've learned so far and celebrate that. For example, if you were trying to learn a new language, let's say, see if you can remember some of the words that you had learned. Even if you don't remember very many, don't worry. If you do decide to return to trying to learn the new language, there's a really good chance that the words you previously learned will come back to you. Once you really are looking at the project that you'd given up on, it's now time to discern if you really want to return to working on the project again. Reflect on why you gave up on the project in the first place. It's really important that at this step you don't attach any guilt to this situation or to why you gave up the project. Perhaps you didn't have the mental, physical, financial capacity at the time you took on the project to complete it. Maybe there just really wasn't enough time. All of that is okay, and we don't want to attach any guilt to it. But we're just reflecting on what happened and why the project wasn't finished. It's important to remember that unfinished projects have a beauty all of their own. While you're discerning, you really want to be honest with yourself and ask, do I want to return to this project? And if the answer is no, that's okay. If it's yes, or maybe, it's time to move on to step 2. Step 2, relinquish notions of perfection. A lot of times when we're working on a project, we'll have this idea of what it's supposed to look like. And sometimes the vision we have in our minds isn't what we're seeing physically in front of us. And this can lead to a lot of disappointment and sometimes have us give up on the project slowly, just feeling a little defeated by it. Or if we're learning a new skill, sometimes we feel like we're not learning at an adequate pace and we may think of ourselves as a slow learner. Remember that you want to learn, create, and practice on your own time. You don't have to compare it to anything else. The beauty of a project isn't just in its finished product. Pleasure and learning all come from the process of working on the project or learning a new skill. So again, just try to shake off some of those ideas of perfection that you have attached to the project, and then move on to step 3. Step 3, release a laugh. If you decide you are going to start that project again, give yourself some space to just, laugh at what came before. This is just something to release any of those feelings of guilt or shame or negative emotions you may have attached to the project or the learning of the new skill. We want to start fresh. I myself like to sing that little refrain, pick yourself up, dust yourself off, start all over again. And it really just helps me break from those negative emotions to then start again with the project from a happier space. So again, step 3 is release a laugh or perhaps sing a refrain. Step 4, return to it or move on to step 5, release it. Once you've really decided that you do want to return to the project, you've let go of some of those ideas of perfection, of how things have to be or the timeline they should be on, and you've allowed yourself to release a laugh or sing a little song to just get yourself more in an excited mind frame, you can really start to work on the project again. Maybe you'll have to learn things over again or look some stuff up, but just embrace it with a beginner's mind, starting afresh. Or you may decide once you start to return to the project that maybe you don't really want to continue working on the project alone. A lot of times we can take on too much, or we think that we have to do everything ourselves. But with some projects, we can share it, make it a collaborative effort, pass it on to someone else perhaps, or just let go of the idea. If it's a skill you are learning, maybe you want to see if you want to join someone else in learning that skill, or find someone who's learning a similar skill and just check in on one another and make it something that you cheer each other on with. That can really help keep us motivated and have someone to talk to when you're trying to learn this new skill. Remember, it's never too late to return to a project or to learn something new and to embrace something that we were doing previously. And it's also okay to leave some projects unfinished. They have a beauty all of their own. Thanks so much for spending time with Gently Being. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel down below and hitting the bell notification so you always know when there's a new video. Once again, thank you for spending time with Gently Being.